morning, students. Today we are going to learn a new chapter of our English grammar, and name of the chapter is active and passive voice, means how to convert active voice into passive voice. Before we start, let us understand which are the rules we need to follow while converting into passive voice. First of all, we need to identify subject, verb and object in a sentence. Let us understand what is a subject. The subject is a person or thing that we are talking about or who is doing the action. And obviously an action is a verb, so you have various verbs like write, sing, talk and dance. And the object is the person or thing on which the action is done upon, or it is the receiver of the action. Then we have to swap, means we have to interchange subject and object. We need to put subject in the place of object and object in the place of the subject. After that, our verb will take place. Remember, the main verb in the sentence always go in the third form, means the past participle. Before the verb, we use helping verb as per the tense. After completing the whole process, we add the preposition by before the subject to give the sentence a complete sense and to make it clear that subject is the doer of the action. After using these rules, we get a complete and correct passive voice. Sentence. Today we are going to learn how to make passive in present tense. As per the rules, we add a proper helping verb before the main verb in the sentence. As in active voice of simple present tense, we use s or es with the first form of verb. While converting into passive voice, we use is, am, are with third form of verb. As already I have told you that every time we use past participle of the verb, means third form of verb in passive voice. In active voice of present continuous tense, we use helping verb is, am, are with first form of verb and ing. But while converting into passive, we use being with is, am, are plus third form of verb. In the active voice of present perfect tense, we use has, have plus third form of verb. But when we are going to convert into passive voice, we use has, have plus been, and again the third form of verb will be used. We do not make passive of present perfect continuous tense. Now let us understand how to change active voice into passive voice in simple present tense. Here the example is he writes a letter. So what we have to do, first of all we need to identify subject, verb and the object of the sentence. After the identification, what we need to do, we need to swap it, means we need to interchange subject with the object and object with the subject. As I have put here a letter in the place of he and the object pronoun him in the place of letter. Then according to our verb, every time we use third form of verb, so I have used written over here, third form of write. And before this verb, as per the tense, I have used is here because a letter, we are talking about a letter, and in simple present tense, passive voice, we use is, am, are with third form of verb. So after using all these steps, like a letter is written him, if I am not using by over here, the sentence is not giving the complete sense. So just to give the sentence a complete sense, I have used here by. You can see here that I have not changed meaning of the sentence in passive voice. In active voice, he writes a letter, and in passive voice, a letter is written by him. It means only he is doing the action. So by is telling us about the subject, that in passive voice only subject is doing the action. Now let's learn how to convert active voice into passive voice in present continuous tense. Here, the example is Javed is making a cake. This is an example of active sentence. So now, what we have to do while converting into passive voice, first thing we need to identify subject, verb and object in the sentence. After identification, what we need to do, then we have to swap, means we have to interchange subject with the object and object with the subject. So I have put a cake in the place of Javed, and Javed is there, has taken the place of a cake. Then I have used third form of verb of make. Fine. And before that, as per the rule, I have used is being, as a cake is singular, so I have used is, and being I have used because we are talking about continuous tense. And if I leave the sentence like this only before using by, so the sentence is not going to give the correct sense. Like a cake is being made Javed. So we are not getting here who has made the cake or who is making the cake. So after using by, we come to know that a cake is being made by Javed. So you can see here that in a passive voice, only Javed is there who is making the cake. Fine. So in both the sentences, it is the Javed only who is making the cake. Let's move on to the passive of present perfect tense. You can see here in the example of active voice, I have eaten a burger. So what you have to do, first of all, we need to identify what is the subject in the sentence, what is the verb and what is the object. And after the identification, what we have to do, we have to swap now. We have to interchange subject with the object and object with the subject. So I have done here the same. I have put a burger in the place of I, and our object pronoun me I have put in the place of a burger. Then I have used third form of the verb eaten. Fine. And before that I have used has been. As it is a singular subject, a burger is there. So I have used has. As per the tense, been is also over there. So before the third form of verb, I have used has been. And after the verb, I have used by, just to give the sentence a complete sense. So now our sentence is, a burger has been eaten by me. In both the sentences, only I am there who is eating the burger. Fine. So in the passive sentence, I have not changed the meaning of the sentence, as well as the tense is also the same. So today we have learned active and passive voice in present tense. I hope that the concept is clear to you. Thanks.